Pergamum Acropole. As I did tell you, Indivas is the name of the settlement more than 2000 years. First time Pergamon was in the form of a small village and the castle in the 4th and 5th century BC. And the first thing was built, which can be seen today, discovered by the archaeologists on top of the hill. The first or the highest platform is Arsenal. Arsenal was the place where the armory weapons were kept when in the form of a military defense castle, where the lieutenant or lieutenant of Alexander the Great, Phileteros, came with his wealth. As I did tell you, in the Vast, this amazing amount of money, like 40 tons of gold, were kept until he died in Ephesus. Then when nobody asked for this money, he noticed that it's a great chance to also started his kingdom that he dreamed in his lifetime. And 283 is the beginning of the Pergamon monarchy, lasted 150 years until the last ruler. So in the history, 6 different guys ruled the Pergamon monarchy for 150 years history. And this is the upper part of the city. In ancient Greek means Acropolis, upper city, where you can also experience the Acropolis in Athens on your trip that you're going to go. What I'd like to point out before we continue here, along the history, Pergamon changed the hands several times, and each time they built their own defense wall. And this is such a great spot where the 4 different city walls can be seen all in one. The very first Hellenistic, early Greek settlement city walls, which can be seen where the blue spot on this wall here, which is from the 4th century BC, when the first settlement started here. Then the wall right at the end, around the corner, which is bigger stones than all, it is the Roman city wall, which used to be also very distinguished center in the 1st century BC to 4th century AD. Then Constantinople left as only the capital of the Roman Empire. I mean, when Rome was occupied in the end of the 4th century, Constantinople was not a Roman background, and the people who were living were not Romans. That's why by the historians, the new historical era, which is called Byzantine or Byzantine era, started from 5th century for 1100 years, and Constantinople became the capital of the empire called Byzantine Empire. They prefer more brick rather than the marble, the local stone on their constructions. That's why if you see brick construction, which means the Byzantine period, means after 500 AD. And the wall right back there is Byzantine wall. The wall is the outside is the Ottoman, and the 1453 and the Constantinople occupied by the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed, which was such an important and a difficult occupation of a city, not only for the Constantinople, but a great empire capital. And historical, especially understanding, says one era is finished, the new era started in the world historical chronology. And then Constantinople became the capital of Ottoman Empire, and today's Turkey, what we call pretty much as the headquarters of the Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire history started early 14th century. So they're considered like the previous Turks, dominated in this part of the world. But in 16th century, they were enlarged and enriched. More than 40 countries. Today, Black Sea and Aegean and Mediterranean was under the control of the Ottomans. They were one of the biggest power in this part of the world. And their history is ended up by the World War I. Then the Civil War, 1919 to 1923. The modern Turkey started in 1923 under the leadership of the man called
Ataturk.
Thank you very much, sir. Ataturk, what they simply call two words in Turkish, means father of Turks. Where you have seen the gentleman already in the morning, but you didn't understand to whom that you're looking at this morning. Remember in front of the hotel Big Square, the guy on the horse?
Yep.
He is the man. He is like the Turkish hero, national hero. He's what I call like Turkish George Washington, where you may have seen his picture statues all over the country. An archaeological museum concept started after 1930s all over. But until then, so many those archaeological sites discovered by chance or by the initial purpose plan of the historians, archaeologists, or treasury hunters.